bow, focus. There you go. Hey internets, I got a good one for you. Someone emailed me, and you can email me too at hi@jonphenom.com. You can send me questions there. You could drop all the questions and comments here, as I always tell you after every video. I read them all, and that's how I get my content for my new videos. So the question was, can I launch my clothing line without a logo and just my word? Short answer, yes. Okay, end of video. Just kidding. This would be a good time to like. Let's like it. Anyway, so let me give you some context. There's tons of brands that have launched and just have like a word mark, or I should say that their word or their brand name spelled out is their logo. Another case that I want to add to this, my case study for logos is always LRG. So Lifted Research Group. I don't know when people are watching this, so everyone should know who LRG is around the time this is dropping. Still very pertinent brand. I think it's past its peak time for sure, especially with Jonas, rest in peace. However, my case study for it is LRG when it's at its peak, and that's arguable when the peak was, but several years ago, they trademarked a couple different looks that they'll use interchangeably in their design, because the nature of their design was very graphic based. So they're definitely able to get away with several different logos, and of course they have the money, because they're multi-million dollar brand, pumping styles out there and dressing up a whole culture of hip hop and urban and skate, definitely at its peak. So at their peak, they're able, you can create your art department at that point, because they had a whole gang of really talented designers. Really big alumni comes from LRG, but with so much creativity, all those guys are bangers, so they're gonna come up with really good logos that then they decide to use as standalone logos, and you can use all of them, all in different elements. It's just more colors on the palette, if you will, for them to be creative with. So if you're a company that hasn't found a logo, and let me be very specific, I'm talking about an iconic logo. So the Nike swoosh, they'll put the Nike swoosh by itself, and you know that that's Nike, not some weird rounded out check mark, right? So if Nike didn't have the affiliation that it had, let's pretend Nike didn't exist for a minute. Ready? Poof. Okay, so someone shows you the check mark, you're like, what is that? That's like a rounded out check mark. But because of the branding and their really good marketing campaigns, basically the best creative minds in the world have worked on Nike to make it a huge case study for branding. You know exactly what it is when you see the swoosh, right? The swoosh, the rounded out check mark, as I keep saying. We need to hashtag that. That's a funny conversation. In any case, that is an iconic logo. That's so when you see me talk, when you hear me and see me, I guess YouTube, talking about iconic logos, that's what I mean with iconic. It's like a symbol, right? So any kind of icon, right? That's not the word or necessarily the letters of your brand. I say necessarily because I think of the DC logo, and it's D and a C put together, right? But if you didn't know that, you could just think it's an iconic logo that they like the shape of and aesthetic, and have went forward to kind of brand that. So if you don't have that, if you don't have your swoosh, you don't have your DC symbol, you can still move forward with the brand as like a word mark, right? That can be your logo. And along with that, and I guess the main point is I'm making, is if your brand shows proof of concept and is successful, you can trademark many other logos. You can go nuts if you want. You could do way more than, I mean, there's no law that says you can't make 10 trademarks. You probably don't want to do that. You probably want to centralize with a few, but I'm pretty sure like LRG did at least 4 logos, right? So just remember, you can rebrand and change the look of your logo and your word completely. And there's examples of that not only with apparel, but many other brands, you know, like ever since what Steve Jobs did to the computer with the Macintosh and Apple in making it like a sexy, making a computer sexy, basically, because before that, if you guys don't remember, you guys should Google it. But when I was like 18, 19, it looked like a really bad television. When I say television, like a tube, like a big box. Man, I'm dating myself at this point. But it was not sleek. Sleek would not be a way that you describe it. But Steve Jobs really made the computer sexy. You know, that's what he did. And a lot of companies are taking fashion, what fashion has been doing for years, and they're taking it to their normal companies. I think of Dyson and what they did for the vacuum, which was a very boring category before. I think of what Krispy Kreme has done with donuts. Donuts have existed for years, but Krispy Kreme made it super cool and made it an experience and made it visual. So there's examples everywhere of rebranding, not just in fashion and design and graphic design. Okay, so keep all of that in mind. Anything that I talked about or ranted about, if it brought something to mind that you want to talk about, or you want to share your experience, drop those drop those comments below. Let's like this video at the same time, guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Like. Hey. At Jon Phenom. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, also Facebook Live. I'm doing a lot of Facebook Live, so let's link up there as well. A lot of good content coming out and continuing to come out. Boom, 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 boom. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.